Well, good morning, and thank y'all all for finding your way here in rural Alabama to discuss this important issue this morning. I'm delighted to be here, and I especially want to appreciate Mayor Hayes for having us here in Maplesville, and County Commission Chairman Parnell for having us in Chilton County. So we're delighted to be here to join all of you this morning. Joining us today, behind me and beside me, Speaker McCutcheon, Senate Pro Tem Del Marsh. Representative Bill Poole was called into court this morning, so he can't be here. But Senator Clyde Chambliss and Representative Jimmy Martin, both of whom represent this area, are here. And also with me this morning is the Senate Minority Leader, Senator Bobby Singleton, delighted that he's here, as well as the Director of the Alabama Department of Transportation, John Cooper, and also Assistant Chief Engineer Ed Austin. And I just appreciate each of you taking time to be here today. In the audience with us today, we have representatives of several key stakeholder groups. And these groups, along with the folks alongside me here, have built a strong team effort. They've come together. And when you work together, you can get a lot of positive results. And they've come together to see that everyone's opinions have been heard, and any person that had a good idea, those ideas have been considered. And this team effort, y'all, is just proof positive that when you work together, you get positive results and come up with the best plan going forward. And where we stand here today, here in rural Alabama, is a great example of why we need to improve Alabama's infrastructure and increase our funding. The bridge behind us, this bridge is over 55 years of age. That's past its lifespan. And it looks like it's out of date. It was built in the mid-60s, and this bridge cannot stand the weight of a big truck nor a school bus. And the road here, as I walked in, it's been patched time and time again, but the patching has not been an adequate replacement for replacing the road, much less for repaving it. And down this road a piece, the pavement turns into dirt, and then when it rains, it floods. So this road and this bridge are perfect examples of why we need to rebuild Alabama's infrastructure. We must provide safe roads and bridges for our people and be sure that the wheels of commerce can continue to turn. And every year in our state, folks, cars and trucks are putting approximately 69 billion, with a B, miles on our roads. Every year. 69 billion miles. And in fact, most of the traveling that's done is on our state-maintained highways, and most of you know better than most that our state has not done enough to maintain our roadways and our highways. 27 years have gone by without any change, not even a nickel, with no change in the amount of investment in our infrastructure. And each year, the average motorist in Alabama, as a result of driving on rough roads, spends an extra $507 in additional vehicle operating cost. And y'all, statewide, that's a total of $2 billion. And then when you add to that the cost of lost time, wasted fuel on congestion, and the financial cost of traffic crashes, that number skyrockets to $5.3 billion extra that's paid by people who drive on our roads. Now, y'all, that's just unacceptable. That is a burden that the government should not be putting on our people. When we choose to turn our challenges into opportunities, Alabama is better off for it. In a 2017 study of corporate executives, highway accessibility was ranked as the #1 most important factor when these executives are trying to select a new site for their facility. In Alabama, $436 million in goods are shipped to and from businesses each year using the state's road and bridge system. That's $436 billion. The Port of Mobile, that is Alabama's only port, it is our deep water port, and it moves approximately 64 million tons of cargo each year and a total economic impact of $22.4 billion. So addressing our port is also essential to our manufacturing, retail, and agricultural businesses in every part of the state, particularly in North Alabama. The Federal Highway Administration projects that every $500 million invested in infrastructure supports 14,000 new jobs. So clearly, we must address this issue. Investing in infrastructure will be the ticket. It will be our ticket to continue to recruit good jobs, to growing the productivity of our port, and by doing so, growing manufacturing, agricultural, and retail industries. Investing in infrastructure will also make it safer for our family and friends on the roads as they drive. Y'all, this is an issue that is felt by every Alabamian. Every Alabamian is affected. And that makes it clearly a bipartisan issue. That means an issue that we can all get behind and all find a solution to. The fact of the matter is that Alabama absolutely must address this problem, and to be successful, we've got to tackle it together. We all need to be all in on this, because this is for the good of the people of Alabama and their safety. And it's time to make our crumbling infrastructure a problem of our past. That's why today I am officially announcing my Rebuild Alabama Infrastructure Plan. 80% of our state transportation funding comes from gas and diesel tax revenues. And while other states have been making adjustments in their infrastructure investments, Alabama has remained stagnant for almost 3 decades. Almost 30 years, folks. So we're behind. I am proposing today a reasonable 10 cents increase in Alabama's fuel tax with an index designed to keep us aligned with rising costs of building roads. This reasonable increase will also be necessary to help us be competitive with our neighboring states. And they've already made major investments in their infrastructure. This 10% increase will be implemented over a 3-year period. Representative Bill Poole in the House will be the sponsor of the Rebuild Alabama bill, and he would have been here today, but he got called into court this morning. And Bill has been very instrumental in making this effort effective in reality. Senator Clyde Chambliss is with us today, and he'll be handling the bill in the Senate. These two legislators, Mr. Poole and Mr. Chambliss, y'all, they are dedicated legislators who truly have a passion for doing what's right for the people of Alabama. And I am sure that in their capable hands, working with their colleagues in the House and the Senate, they'll get this bill across the finish line. With this increased investment in our state infrastructure funding, Alabama will be more responsible in maintaining our roads and bridges. Alabamians will be safer, and Alabama's future will be more prosperous. Deepening and widening the Port of Mobile, Alabama's only deep water port, will increase Alabama's economic capability and enhance our status as a primary industrial and agricultural hub in the southeastern United States. And with this additional funding, we'll be able to replace bridges like this one before us before they exceed their lifespan. And we'll be able to repave our roads more than once in every 56 years. By increasing our investment in infrastructure, we're not only investing in roads and bridges, we're investing in economic development, public safety, our communities, and the future of our state. This is a hard issue. I know that. But it's an issue that we will have to work hard to get it through, but we will be successful because it is the right thing to do. And I know that in Alabama, we are very capable people to tackling even the toughest of challenges. So let's remember that Alabama's best days are ahead.
Amen.